I just ate some food. I don't want to have food in my teeth. Yes, please. So I'm sure there's plenty of people who want the opportunity to speak on a stage. And I want that for you too, if that's what you want. Here's the thing you have to keep in mind, is before anybody lets you on a stage, you gotta be okay chatting to people on the ground. You know what I'm talking about? Here's the deal. I've had the opportunity to speak to large audiences and small audiences, and to me, they're one and the same. Why? I have the opportunity to sharpen my communication skills. I have the opportunity to meet new people in different spheres that I wouldn't have access to. And I also have the opportunity to find people in the room who I'm unfamiliar with. There's always an opportunity at every event that I go to if I keep my mind and my heart open. Today's event has around 20 to 30 people here, and I am treating it as if it has 2,000 to 3,000. Why? Because how you show up at an event, small, medium, or large, is how you will continue to show up at events, small, medium, or large. So I'm not speaking for the job I have today, I'm speaking for the job I have tomorrow. I think if we were to strip away the layers, what we think of brand isn't website, what we think of brand isn't social media. A brand is an experience. So what kind of experiences are we experiencing, not just with our clients, but the online people who are watching you before they actually book you. So it's going to be super important to create experiences online. So asking questions, sharing your story, and remembering that they're not just choosing a designer, they're choosing somebody they want to spend a year of their life with in a very intimate and stressful situation. Super interesting question that my videographer asked me right now. He was just like, hey, since you're speaking to interior designers, does that change what you talk about? Does it change your vernacular? And the answer is yes. Whenever I have an opportunity to speak to real estate agents, interior designers, photographers, graphic designers, the nuances, like earlier today, I taught a class for teachers pay teachers. That meant that my vernacular, my verbiage had to really focus on education, had to focus on teachers who are quite honestly like underpaid and still trying to find their voice and find their value in a district, to coming here to a high-end event for interior designers who charge a premium for what they do. So I have to make sure that my brand message stays the same, but the way that I deliver it is different, because people want to connect with an overall message, and the message is be themselves, find their truest story, and connect with their customers. Awesome. But how do I convey that to interior designers? Through aesthetics, through story, through personality, and through lifestyle, which is entirely different from the conversation that I had exactly just a few hours ago today about teachers, which is about connecting with parents, which is about communication, which is about finding value in the work that they're producing to change students' lives. The brand message is the same, but the way I deliver it is different for the audience. So often it's so easy for us to lead with brand as in this is what I do, but brand is who you are. Brand is what you say, and more than anything, brand is how you make people feel. And far before they become a client, they are first a follower. So what can you do on social media to extend that experience, to respond to DMs, to create compelling content, to share your story, and to share what it's like from an educational perspective so people feel smarter just by following you? Those are small micro steps to creating an online brand far before people actually become a client.
I mean, drop the mic, right? This is why I'm here, you guys. Such good wisdom.
Thank you. So every time you approach any sort of social situation, to me, this is like Instagram story eye candy. Regardless if you have one job or 100 or 0, you being in the room alone is street credibility. So at minimum, there should be 5 or 6 stories, like product from Serena and Lily, photos of the people you're talking to. Just by mere association of the people in the room, you have elevated your brand. Why? It's an experience. And you got a ticket in the room and other people are creeping. They want to know, what are you doing? How am I there? And the minute you bring them on the journey and you're not closed-lipped about it, then that becomes a thing. How cool. You ain't got no money, you ain't got no jobs, you come here and you source on your stories. At home, I would pair this pillow, this blanket, look at this, all of this less for $900, or whatever the case may be. People are like, oh, not only did you say, I'm so cool, I'm at this event, I'm giving you access to this. This is my aesthetic. They feel that you're benevolent. They feel you brought them in a secret society, and they also feel indebted to your education and your time. You ain't got money, you have a free, beautiful look room to say, this is what I would do. This is what I'm currently working on for myself, but it's okay, right? Like, share the style, share the experience, and then that goes a long way. It's also super important for me to remember that if I'm speaking to a group of 30 people or 3,000 people, my ideology, my hope is to connect with one person. Do I get nervous? Yeah, of course. But I always remember that I don't have to be for all 30 people in the room. I don't have to be for all 3,000. I don't have to be for all 30,000. I need to find one person who my story, my message, my ideology, my brand, my vision will connect with so that they feel empowered to go and change their corner of the world. It's all about the one person.